Hello and welcome to what would have been day 10 of the Betfred World Snooker Championship. Tonight on our Facebook and YouTube channels, we have another exclusive interview. Tonight it's with 1985 World Snooker Champion Dennis Taylor, and we talk about a whole host of great players, including the Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
It's just the way he plays the game, Mark, and the way he has played the game since he first turned professional and picked up the UK Championship when he was 17 years of age. I mean, when he first turned pro, they used to play the qualifiers at the Norbreck Castle in Blackpool. I mean, I was coming to the end of my career and I had to travel over there to play in little cubicles. It was like playing in a squash court, I suppose. And Ronnie was there, and I think he had some unbelievable achievement, like 60-odd matches he won. I mean, that was something special. And we knew that he was going to be a very, very special player. And I mean, Ronnie would tell you now that even though he's played unbelievably over the last decade or so, that he was a better player when he was 16. But he was an exceptional young talent. I think he made his first century break when he was something like 10 years of age. So, yeah, the style of play, the way he plays the game, I mean, you never know what's going to happen with Ronnie. That's the other side of Ronnie. I mean, we did see him that time at the UK concede when he was only a few frames behind against Stephen Hendry. But I think those days are long gone. He's a more measured player now, but still plays the game the way he did as a 17-year-old. And everyone in the world, I mean, he is in China probably as popular as Ding Junhui, if not even more popular. Now, that takes some doing to go into a country like China and their national hero, Ding Junhui, Ronnie O'Sullivan, would be as popular, if not even more popular than their own hero.
Tonight on Crucible Gold on the World Snookers Facebook and YouTube channels, we're talking about the greatest upsets. Well, we had one last year, didn't we, when Ronnie O'Sullivan crashed out to the amateur James Cahill.
People will criticise Ronnie O'Sullivan for his performance in the first session and shot selection, but every credit to this young man, this pink, for an unbelievable victory. In it goes, and Ronnie O'Sullivan, the #1 player in the world, the greatest of all time, is out, and James Cahill has proved one of the biggest shocks ever here at the Crucible Theatre.
Congratulations, James, conqueror of Ronnie O'Sullivan. Not a bad Crucible debut.
Yeah, it could have been worse, couldn't it? That's such an amazing performance for myself. I understand Ronnie's not played at his best, but I think I have a bit more to give than that as well. But it was just nice to go out and, as I say, as a debut, to beat the world #1, my idol, really. So yeah.
In that arena, obviously, we've seen people come in here and freeze on debut, but you've just really taken to like a duck to water.
Yeah, I liked the venue. As soon as I went out to it, I felt to it. But I didn't really feel that nervous. I've gone out there and I felt really good straight away. So it's nice to be able to know that I go into big arenas and handle the situation well. Yeah.
And that certainly showed in your play. There's some real attacking style.
Yeah, I believe you've got to go for your shots. To be honest, my long game's been awful. That match, I just felt like something I'm working on, because normally my long game's like one of my strengths of my game, really. But it's not always going to click into place. And I've dug in deep there, and I've done a lot of good clearances under pressure. So there's a lot to take from that.
What were you thinking at 5-4 after yesterday's session?
Well, I made 70, and he cleared up to like he snookered me, and I swerved it too much, and he cleared up to go to win one frame. But then it'd be easy to lose your head after that, and I've still won the next 2 frames. So I know that it wasn't the best game, but I've still come out 5-4 on top, and any win against Ronnie is a good win.
I just felt a little bit under the weather, I feel like my legs are like lead and my arms feel really heavy. I'm not making no excuses. I just felt absolutely exhausted, to be honest with you. And I just tried to do as much as I could, just tried to hang in there and see if I could manage to somehow get through the match. And a few days off might have felt a bit better, so it wasn't meant to be.
Did you have the flu, or is it just a sort of lack of energy from, a busy period?
No, well, you can hardly say busy. I mean, you know, if you're comparing people who've been busy, there's been a lot of players that have been a lot busier than I have, and they're feeling okay. So you know, you can put it down to that, or you can just put it down to just one of those things. You know, I think it's just one of those things. Sometimes, you know, you can try and get everything right, but there's some things that are just out of your control, and there's not much you can do. You know.
I mean, was it as well a bit of the pressure as well out there? And obviously you're always there as the number one, aren't you, and the player to beat?
Well, like again, you can look at it two ways. You know, you can either say, yeah, I may have crumbled under the pressure, or you can just say, well, you know, maybe my record would suggest otherwise. So, you know, I'll leave that to you guys to try and work out for yourselves. But you know, it could be a mixture of things. You know.
How impressed were you with the way he held himself together at the end?
Yeah, I thought he done well. You know, especially the last couple of frames. You know, and quite a good pink and black. And that clearance in the end was a very good clearance. So yeah, held himself to well in the Crucible. You know.
Many people will say this is arguably the biggest shock in Crucible history. Is that how you see it?
Well, you can, if you look down the history of the years, there's been a few. Davis got beat first round. I think Hendry's had a first round. I'm sure John Higgins has. I'm sure Mark Williams has. I have. There's probably been a few results where everybody's expected maybe a certain player just to kind of breeze through, but that's just snooker, innit? It's sports, where it goes.
That's it. Look out for our Dennis Taylor interview at 7 o'clock tonight. I even get him talking about 1985. I had to twist his arm. Right, stay in, stay safe.